how you think about the development of Bitcoin as a global store of value?
If you look at Bitcoin right now, it's going to be driven by institutional adoption as an asset, and it's also going to be driven by technology utility, and it's also going to be driven by macroeconomic winds. So when you look at the next 4 to 8 years, the institutional adoption is driven by the utterances of the chair of the CFTC, the SEC, by FASB accounting, you know, the fair value accounting adoption, by the adoption by the FDIC. Decisions, if you look at BNY Mellon, if you look at BlackRock, if you look at Fidelity, you know, like, if you look at, let's take Bank of America, pretty big bank. The joke I used to tell is when I decided to buy Bitcoin in 2020, I told my broker at Merrill Lynch, which is a division of Bank of America, I said, I think I want to buy Bitcoin. Can you sell it to me? And he said, I can't even talk about it. I get fired. Okay, and I said, okay, you sure? He said, we don't cover it. I can't talk about it. We're afraid of it. I said, okay, well, I want to wire $175 million somewhere else. So I wired the money, you know, and I bought the Bitcoin, and I still have the Bitcoin.
The person who would know this the best is Michael Saylor, who is driving the tsunami of institutional adoption. Institutions are coming for Bitcoin, and he is the only one who would know it for sure. With their investment in the asset class being just under $4 billion, Microstrategy's CEO, Michael Saylor, currently possesses more over 130,000 Bitcoins. In his most recent keynote presentation for Swan Bitcoin, Michael Saylor shares his outlook and forecast for the next 8 years of Bitcoin, as well as the reasons institutions are turning to the digital currency more than ever. If you like finance-related content, consider subscribing or liking the video.
Not one Satoshi would I sell. Let me tell you how serious I am. When I had to like wire the 1 million Satoshis for the meme competition, I was like, I have to buy this stuff because there's no way I want to be short Bitcoin when I'm giving it away or paying it. So I did that. 2 years go by, and just last week, my secretary called me. She says, hey, Merrill Lynch sent a bunch of documents over and they want you to sign them. And I said, what? I didn't ask for anything. She said, well, you have to sign these documents so that you can buy Bitcoin with Bank of America, and they want you to sign them now. I said, okay. So now, you know, they wouldn't sell it to me, and now they're jamming it down my throat. Like, so that's like a leak for you guys. Like, presumably, if Merrill Lynch is going to all their clients saying, fill this out, I think the Bank of America has embraced Bitcoin. Big deal. So for store of value, when these big, you know, the offshore banks, right? Celsius is a bank. BlockFi is a bank, FTX is a bank, Voyager is a bank. They're not going to cross the chasm and continue with us in the next decade. They're going to be replaced with JP Morgan and Bank of America and BNY Mellon and Fidelity. And that's going to go a long way toward institutional adoption and driving Bitcoin as a store of value. I think the other thing is the explosion of Lightning. I described this as, in 1991, you had TCP/IP and we had the internet, but not many people used it. In 1994, you had the Netscape browser, and that was the killer app for the internet. And pretty soon you had 100 million people download that browser, and it caught fire. Well, we are like 1991, 92 in money over the internet, money over IP. And in my opinion, there's going to be a couple of killer apps. On the consumer side, a killer app that's like a Lightning wallet that moves digital dollars and BTC and swaps in and out of local currency. When you can move the peso, the dollar, and the BTC in the hands of of anybody in Argentina. I don't know why every adult in Argentina wouldn't download that, right? And so that'll go to billions of people. So the killer app for Lightning is coming. We just, obviously it's a work in progress. We got to keep improving the protocol. We got to keep refining it. But when that happens, you're going to see hundreds of millions and then billions of people downloading these applications. My firm's working on an application to monetize any website so that you could basically say, hey, come fill out an application form to be a credit card customer or to be an insurance customer. And if you fill out that form or that survey, we'll give you a Lightning wallet and we'll fill it with 1 million Satoshis. And you just put that out on a tweet, you get 800,000 people to hit your website, 800,000 Lightning wallets spin up, and you click on it, it gives you a barcode, you scan it, and the Satoshis flow to any open Lightning wallet in the world. We're going to onboard hundreds of thousands and millions of people when those kind of applications get going. That's going to create massive demand for Bitcoin and massive enthusiasm for this and change the narrative. That'll be the second driver, right? And the third driver, and again, this is where the politicians are going to help us out. They're going to keep printing money, right? You think we're tightening momentarily in the U.S., but they're not going to tighten in the rest of the world. They're going to print money in every single country. All their currencies are going to continue to weaken. The Fed took us into a steep nosedive, nearly crashed the currency when they took the interest rates from 280 basis points to 180 to 5 basis points on the 1 year. And then they pulled up and they brought the interest rate from 12 basis points up to 470 basis points on a 1-year treasury in 12 months. And it's kind of like that strafing run in Maverick when the guy goes down in the valley, nearly crashes and pulls up and pulls 10 Gs and just about rips the wings off the plane. And that's what we're doing, except we're doing it with the entire $500 trillion economy right now. And we've got to the point where the pilots are blacking out. Okay? We just saw it with Liz Truss in the UK, where they pulled up, the interest rate got a 5 handle. First they fired the Chancellor of the Exchequer, then they fired the Prime Minister, right? And that was a lesson to every other politician, and you can imagine Jerome Powell and the rest, they're looking, they're like, I don't think the economy of the world will take much more of the pulling up. They're going to have to take their hand off the stick, loosen up a bit, otherwise they're going to crash every single economy. And as they do it, we're going to see more inflation. That inflation is going to continually be a marketing driver. And the combination of those three things are going to play out against the new reality, which is Bitcoin is the only digital commodity. It is the only crypto asset. There is no second best crypto asset.
Please share your thoughts in the comments box below and remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications alert.